first member to sign with the Reading Royals for the 20th anniversary season. That's Royals forward Frank DiChiara. Frank, number one on the list. How does it feel to be the first one to sign with the team this year?
It feels good. It feels good to be back. I've enjoyed my first 2 years in Reading. We've had some great teams, and then obviously this past year left a little bit of a bitter taste in my mouth, moving forward. So, I really wanted to. I thought we had a great group this year. I really thought we had a chance to make some noise and go pretty deep in the playoffs and make a nice little run. So, I wanted to kind of finish what we started and, just kind of take it and, kind of have a good year next year as well.
The group of guys, we're hoping that obviously a large core will return next year. And we've talked so much just on the Zoom calls we've had about what that core was like this year, and really all the guys, how strong of a team chemistry you guys had from the start. How much of that was an influence in you wanting to come back for what would be your third full season with the Royals and your fourth overall?
Yeah, it's definitely huge. From day one, the coaches did a great job of putting a good group together. And then obviously throughout the year, you have trades and some injuries and stuff. So even the guys coming in, we had a great camaraderie in the room. We were pretty, reliant on one another, and, we were just a tight knit group, like you said. So it was a huge factor. I'm hoping that a lot of the guys will feel the same way that I do, and, thinking that we have some unfinished business to take care of in Reading. So I'm kind of hoping that we'll get a large core of the group back from last year, and then we can, just kind of pick up where we left off and, have another great year.
You were the leading goal scorer, point scorer on the Royals last year, pretty much as it's been. You've only missed 2 games in your time in Reading in 2 full seasons. Having that responsibility of returning as a guy that will be expected to contribute in a large way, how do you view that going into another offseason?
I'm kind of just trying to do what I did last year and stuff. My training was, pretty important last year. I was able to get on the ice as often as I could. I had some great help from the coaches around here, and then my training staff off the ice in the gym. So, I'm kind of just hoping that, I can kind of do the same things I did last year and then come in, and obviously my 4th year and 3rd year in Reading, obviously hopefully have a little bit more, even more of a leadership role than I did last year, kind of take some guys under my wing and, maybe even the whole team, and just kind of say, hey boys, like, let's kind of get this done. I kind of know what to expect from the coaches, and, I can be, that shoulder to lean on, hopefully for some of the younger guys. And, like I said, obviously have another big year for myself and do well for the team.
We may or may not include this part depending on how well you answer. So this is going to be an optional thing. And if people are watching this, then it means you have answered it really well. Okay. So we were talking to Garrett Mitchell, where we put that interview out a while ago at the time that this will go out. And Garrett was talking about how you're a walking elite prospects and database. And we had a little bit of fun with that.
Yeah.
And so I just clicked on a random game that the Royals won.
Yeah.
And it's a memorable one. It was the first one out of the holiday break where the Royals won 5-0 up in Maine. You might remember that right out of the holiday breaks. We know you love Portland. So can you name a few of the Royals scorers? You were not one of them, so that's part of the reason we want to put you to the test. Who got a couple of those goals? 5-0 win for the Royals, and Felix Sandstrom had 23 saves in a shutout, December 27th of 2019. Take your best shot.
Oh, let me think. Luke Stork had 2. Beaudry, I know, had 1 because I had an assist. I remember that. Who else? Losey had 4 points that game. I know that for a fact. He didn't. I don't think he scored though. Am I right? Am I on the right track?
It's amazing. You've gotten everything right, except for there's one point of contention I have, which is Luke Stork had 2 points.
Okay.
I think they announced him as the goal. Thomas Ebbing got
credit. Ebbs had a one-timer. Ebbs had a one-timer in the slot on an assist from Stork. You remember that? That was the second goal of the game. Boges was the 3rd. Storky's was the 4th. Or no, Losey's was the 4th. And Storky scored coming down. It was like it went off the referee's knee pads, and it went
Yeah.
right on Storky's stick, and he went in and scored. Who
You're
had
a
the
little
first
bit
one?
off, but you're on
Yeah,
it. Storky had the fourth goal.
fourth
Uh,
goal today. Oh no, Rob
Losey
Michael had the
had
fifth
the.
one. Rob Michael had the fifth one. It went off of Losey's stick. Like Losey went to shoot, and it went off Rob's stick, right over to Rob. Rob had a tap in. I don't
This is
remember how the first one.
unbelievable.
I don't remember how the first one. I'm trying to think. Oh, was it Mackin? Mack have the
Uh,
first one?
Trevor Yates. I don't remember. I hardly
Yates,
remember any
yeah.
of these goals, but
Wow.
this is amazing. I don't know. You got
Yeah.
4 of the 5.
I know. I remember. I wish I could pull it up, but yeah, I remember that for sure.
I feel like, as I said to Garrett Mitchell in an interview, like the South Park, they took their jobs. Like that's what Pat Richards and I are feeling like up in the booth after seeing this amazing performance. So
I know. I remember a lot. I got a lot of time on my hands, so I like looking up stats. I like looking up where people are going and stuff. So it's I keep track on guys that I've played with, or guys that I've come across in my day. So it's pretty interesting. But yeah, I'm a walking encyclopedia.
were you like this with like the Yankees or the Jets growing up? Some of the teams you grew up following.
No. When I was super young, when I was in nursery school, my great grandpa and great grandma, they'd pick me up every day because my mom and dad were working. And before we could go get lunch, my great grandpa, excuse me, would have me recite the Yankee lineup and where each person played, which at the time was like Tino Martinez, Robin Ventura was at third,
Yeah.
Jeter was a shortstop, obviously, and then I'm not really Bernie Williams was in center, Posada behind the plate.
Shane Spencer in left or right
Yeah,
field. Yeah.
it was like Scott Brocious, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like I think Chuck Knobloch was still playing at the time. Like it was pretty funny that I was 3 years old, 4 years old, and I was able to do that. So
That's amazing, Frankie. You made all of our days here. Again, congratulations, and we're looking forward to seeing you whenever hockey resumes.
yeah, absolutely. It's always a pleasure, and I'm really looking forward to being back for my 4th year, and really hoping we can make a run.